My name is Jamie Heagle. I am 26 years old in a few weeks, and I have classic galactosemia, diagnosed at age 5 days, I believe. I had a lot of problems when I was born. I had jaundice, and I believe I was throwing up. And so they took me back to the hospital, and I was there for a few days, and they ran tests and found out through PKU testing that I had galactosemia. I would definitely say that galactosemia impacted a little bit of my social life. I was, and I still am, honestly, a little odd, a little awkward with meeting new people and creating a relationship with people. And definitely when I was younger, I had a hard time doing that. I would say I was a little scared and socially awkward with not knowing how to talk to people. I didn't understand social cues. I definitely had some developmental delays. My parents started really early with education. I remember doing tutoring in school, and then I'd come home and I would have a one-on-one tutor at home as well. I couldn't talk correctly, or I even have slurs sometimes when I talk now. So that was a big impact. People did make fun of me a little bit for how I would talk or not understanding what people were saying to me. At one school, I had to move schools because it just wasn't right, educationally and socially. I would get off the bus and just have people make fun of me the whole ride. So I'd come off the bus and just be super sad or crying because of those social problems that I didn't understand that I had. But obviously other people saw that in me. I didn't talk about galactosemia really until I would say high school, because I didn't fully understand it either. So one story was, I believe it was 8th grade or 9th grade, we went out to, I want to say, a Mexican restaurant, and I didn't know much about foods that I couldn't eat. I just knew like cheese. So I got a quesadilla with no cheese, and no one understood why I did that. That's when I realized I should probably be a little bit more cognitive of what I get at restaurants when going out. So if we went out to a restaurant and I said, "Oh, I can't have cheese," and they would tell me, "Oh, you're lactose intolerant," and I would explain it to them. No, not quite. I have this rare genetic disorder called galactosemia, and I would explain it to them a little bit more. So I knew what I couldn't eat, I knew what I could eat. I was still a little shy to ask people. I've kind of grown out of that through college. But in the beginning, it was tough. Like, I would just have water. I wouldn't have like milk or anything because they didn't have different variations of milk until a few years later. I believe, I want to say junior year of college. That's when I started actually talking to the manager of the cafeteria and the chef. And I would actually, in my last year, have a box of foods that I could eat to bring back to my dorm. When going off to college, be able to be educated on galactosemia so that you can advocate for yourself. Having galactosemia and hearing that it could get worse, the symptoms getting worse with age, I would say in my experience, I have had other health complications that have come up recently. My seizures started my second year in college. I don't really know how to describe it. I just kind of had a seizure in class and woke up not really knowing what was happening. Everyone was kind of looking at me. It's kind of scary. And I started having seizures at night. I would be asleep and then wake up, and I couldn't talk correctly. I didn't know what was happening. So that kind of was a big red flag when I'd wake up and I'd try to call my mom because I was worried and I couldn't convey to her anything. Like, I couldn't talk. I couldn't remember people's names or my own name for that matter. We decided to go see a neurologist at that point, and that helped a lot. And so it's been 2.5 years right now since I've had any seizures. I will be turning 26 in a few weeks, and I've been looking at insurance plans. I will be coming off my parents' insurance and looking at my own plans. You need to look on a lot of websites. There are many that you're able to put medications in or physicians in, and they narrow that search down to insurance companies that will cover you. Some can be difficult because you'll have one medication that you can have and multiple that you can't have. So I would say the best advice is it's going to take time, and you're just going to have to keep looking on different websites or find one insurance agent that you can trust and talk to them about what is best for you. The Galactosemia Foundation is a great resource to go to. They have a lot of peer support groups. So if you are unsure of foods, they have great resources for that, or different areas that people can connect and feel supported. The increase in trials, I think, has made me excited to see what the future generation of kids coming up into their early adulthood, what they will see for their future. And hopefully there can be some kind of solution to galactosemia, and maybe even help their children, if they have kids with galactosemia, help that generation as well figure out what's going on. I don't know if I'll see much, but I hope they do.